Hello, I'm Sandy Miller, and this is Group's Proposal Presentation for Social Work 5016, Clinical Advocacy with Groups and Families with Dr. Denise Anderson. The proposed group would be a life skills group. The targeted population is uninsured adults who are affected by health-related social needs. This is a group that would be beneficial with the patients I currently work with. These individuals have had recent hospital or mental health facility inpatient stays and are faced with many health-related social needs. Many of these individuals need assistance in navigating the healthcare and social service system. My current job is to help these individuals do just that by assisting them with appointments, paperwork, and interacting with many different agencies. For example, the Department of Human Services when applying for food stamps and interacting with people at the courthouse. The goals of this group would be to educate the members and allow them to gain more confidence in speaking and interacting with people in a calm manner, to encourage one another, to share information, and share resources. This group would be a cognitive behavioral group. The definition is on the slide. I feel this would be best approach to use as the group could work on their independence, self-control, social skills, training, and needed behavior changes as they are discussed in our Corey textbook on page 266. This group would be called the Ballad Health AHCN Life Skills Support Group. This name was chosen because Ballad Health and AHCN would be familiar for this population. They are already involved in the Ballad Health and in the Appalachian Highlands Care Network through Ballad Health, where they are connected with community health workers and community navigators. There are some statistics on the slides that talk about healthcare and how the social determinants of health or health-related social needs impact individuals. Looking at these statistics help us to understand the need for addressing health-related social needs. Chronic conditions account for more than $1 trillion in healthcare costs and are leading causes of death and disability in the United States. Social determinants of health are things like food-related needs and transportation, housing needs, safety, and discriminatory policies. Social determinants of health can drive as much as 50% of health outcomes. It is estimated that approximately 25 to 60% of patients with cancer experience food insecurity, 20% suffer from housing instability, and 15% struggle with transportation for cancer care. By assisting people with these basic needs and helping them to learn how to address their own needs, we can help them to get the health care that they need. Schizophrenia affects approximately 1% of the world population and leads to profound disability in quality of life and everyday functioning, including impairment in independent living, education, working, and socializing. Many of the patients seen have mental health diagnoses such as schizophrenia, and by helping these individuals with their social skills and confidence, we can hopefully help them to live more independently and more confidently. Much research has been done on cognitive behavioral therapy, and it has been shown to be effective time and again. According to this article on the effectiveness of cognitive behavioral therapy on the resilience of adults, the authors state that cognitive behavioral therapy could be the most indicated therapeutic approach to enhance resilience among individuals. This supports the use for this approach with this group and population. The group will be 8 weeks long. We'll meet one time per week. It will be a closed group with a maximum of 10 members. The meeting time will be at 1 o'clock on Wednesdays, and we would meet at the Appalachian Highlands Care Network building in a private conference room. The time frame of 8 weeks was chosen because it would be difficult to have the population commit to any longer than that, but that much time would be needed for the group to be effective. Transportation is an issue for many of the clients, therefore meeting one time per week at 1 o'clock on a Wednesday could be doable. Transportation could be arranged for the clients to get to and from the group. Transportation is typically a barrier, and that could be arranged for clients up front. Many clients do better with afternoon appointments as opposed to morning or late evening. Clients already know where the Appalachian Highlands Care Network building is located, and many of them have already been there, so it would be comfortable for them to meet there. Having food and water at this meeting would be beneficial for clients in several ways. Many of the clients are homeless and many of them are food insecure, so the food would be an incentive for them to make it to the meeting. It's also a good relationship building time when people can eat together. Everyone could eat together for a 1/2 hour late lunch and then have 1 hour of group time. Supplies such as pens and paper would be supplied by the group leader, as many of our clients would not be able to bring those supplies with them. The targeted population we are trying to recruit are our current clients involved in the Appalachian Highlands Care Network Community Navigator and Community Health Worker program. They are uninsured adults, and many of them are homeless, struggle with physical and mental illness, and have many health-related social needs, and are in need of social skills training. Flyers could be provided, as well as verbal invitations by the client's community navigators and community health workers. Clients are initially screened when they are in the hospital or mental health facility by a community navigator. The group would be limited to 10 members, and individuals who want to participate would be welcome as long as they attend regularly. Exclusion criteria would include missing more than 2 meetings in a row unless it's due to a hospitalization, any aggressive behaviors, or coming to the group under the influence of any substances. Also, not maintaining confidentiality would be reason for exclusion. The main problems anticipated are getting clients to commit and show up to the group. Consistency is a common problem that is seen with this population. Consistency in staying in touch with their navigator or community health worker, consistency with going to appointments, consistency with medications, and consistency with turning in paperwork are all obstacles that are faced regularly. Ensuring that transportation is set up correctly is also very important for this group. The first meeting would definitely have good food, and everyone would be allowed to introduce themselves and share their story as they are comfortable. I would introduce myself and be very clear that I am the leader of the group. I would also take time to review the rules of the group and to discuss confidentiality, respect for one another, and respect for the time in the group. Some members could be challenging to engage, as many of our clients often get pushed aside and are not listened to. Ensuring that everyone who wants to speak has time to speak and is heard will be a great tool in this group. Looking up issues of power and privilege, these are things I have to think about regularly when I'm interacting with my clients. For example, I was at the courthouse with a client not too long ago. Many of the people at the courthouse who we interacted with were not extremely eager to assist us. The client's father looked at me and said, "You are an educated woman, and look at all the problems you've had today. Think about how they treat us." This was heartbreaking for me, as this family can't really read or write and have many struggles in their daily lives. Keeping these issues on my mind and trying to be very aware when I am becoming judgmental of others is of utmost importance in building sincere relationships. In looking at the group intervention and cohesion, there are some citations on the screen. One interesting article discussed how modest improvements in functioning and negative symptoms in consumers with schizophrenia had been found in clinical trials of cognitive behavior therapy and social skills training. There was not a lot of information that I could find that had these two things together in the way that I would hope to have them in this group. In discussing this project with a coworker, She said, "Oh my gosh, this would be so great for our patients that we work with." The Grandholm and Holden article also stated that by adding cognitive behavioral therapy to social skills training, therapists can use the training to train new skills and thoughts that interfere with skilled performance in the real world, including low self-efficacy, defeat, performance attitudes, and can be addressed in cognitive therapy. The group intervention modalities I expect to use most often would be psychoeducation, mindfulness, cognitive restructuring exercises, peer support, and role playing. I feel like role playing could definitely give the group members opportunities to practice what they are learning and be able to interact in the community with more confidence and more calmness. This group will end after 8 weeks. Terminating the group and the number of meetings left will be discussed at every meeting so the members can be planning that the last meeting will be dedicated to termination. This will allow for the giving and receiving of feedback. Our Corey text on page 90 talks about how he typically asks members to give a brief summary, how they have perceived themselves in the group, what conflict will become clearer, what the turning points were, and what they expect to do with what they have learned and what the group has meant to them. Then other people can say how they have perceived and felt about that person. I would want to give an opportunity for people to discuss their feelings on how the group is ending. A lot of these clients have many changes in their lives going on all the time, so the stability of a group would be good for them, but the termination may be difficult. Group members will follow up with their community health worker or community navigator, and group members can receive follow-up for at least a year as long as they answer their phone and participate. This policy is already in place and is how we contact clients in our program at this time. We could also have an evaluation process where the community navigator or community health worker would do a formal written evaluation, assist the client in completing that, and get that turned back in to the group leader. I feel this group could be very beneficial to the population that I serve every day. Thank you.